Hey everyone, welcome back to the Might and Magic 6 completionist run. This episode, I'm afraid, is gonna be... Well, I'm having a hard time even finding a good way to describe it, and I think by the end of it, you'll know what I mean. But yes, this episode's gonna be a bit of a strange one. I'm gonna start out with just unequipping everything in Serena's inventory, just bringing her back to the standard, Xena warrior princess look she had at the start of the series. So the thing we're gonna do in this episode is we are gonna finally find out why I have stockpiled 38 potions of rejuvenation. Now this really has been the elephant in the room for the past 10 episodes or so, because I've been going around doing normal game things, completing quests, going into areas, and all that kind of thing. But on the side, I've also been doing this really strange thing. I've been gathering alchemy ingredients to make, so many of these potions that they have filled up almost 2/3 of Zoltan's inventory. Let's refresh our memory as to what this potion actually does. It removes all magical aging effects and also permanently removes or penalizes you by 1 from all of your 7 primary statistics. Now, when I started making these potions, I joked that you'd probably think I was crazy for doing this because we currently don't have any artificial aging effects applied to any of our characters, and in fact, I told you that if we did get anybody artificially aged, I would just load my game, and I think I actually did that a couple times. The other reason you would think I'm crazy is because here in Dragonsand, one of these fountains over here is the Fountain of Youth, and I'm just gonna fly over to see if maybe it indicates... No, that just gives temporary hit points. And this, what does this do for us? Oh, plus 10 to your 7 stats permanent, plus you also get eradicated. We'll come back and mess with that fountain later. Maybe this is the Fountain of Youth, unless it's somewhere else entirely and I've totally forgotten. Okay, that gives resistance. Okay, maybe I don't know where the Fountain of Youth is. In fact, let me just look this up. I might as well look this up in the beginning of this episode. Just give me a moment while I pull it up on my phone. I could have sworn it was in Dragonsand. Oh no, it's in Hermit's Isle, I think. Okay. Hermit's Isle has the Fountain of Youth. And that fountain will, without any other negative effect, undo the effects of magical aging. So we have a way to achieve the effect of this potion without even the negative, without even the penalty that it imposes. So why even use a single one of these? Well, this is where things are gonna take a bit of a dark turn. You see, I don't care at all about its actual effect, its intended effect of rejuvenation. The only thing I care about is its negative effect. It's penalty against all our stats. Just let's take a look at Serena's statistics. Now, I had removed her equipment at the beginning of the episode for a reason, because I wanted to see her unmodified statistics. Just taking everything off once again. Even, like, I'll take off all the items. I'll equip them later. And let's save the game here. Now, let's take a look at your statistics. Nothing too interesting, but let's make a note of her speed statistic. It's currently at 52. Now, let's make her drink one of those potions. As you can see, her speed has dropped to 51. Indeed, all of her statistics have gone down by 1. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make her drink every single one of these potions. And I joked earlier that you might think I'm insane for brewing these, and those of you who were questioning my sanity are probably now even more convinced that I've totally lost it. Because why am I doing this? Every time I do this, she is incurring a permanent -1 to every single statistic of hers. That's permanent. Nothing will undo this. We can get her stats back up, but nothing is going to undo this effect that we're giving to her right now. And honestly, I can tell that it's probably very uncomfortable for you watching this. I sense that if you could physically reach out through your screen and stop me from doing this, if you could just grab my hand and take it away from the mouse, you would. And honestly, I don't blame you. In fact, I wouldn't blame you if you were so horrified by what I'm doing that you know, disliked this video, unsubscribed, and then just never came back to this channel ever again. All I can do is promise you that, as horrible as this is, there is a reason for it. There is a reason. That reason is only going to become apparent once Serena has had every single one of these potions. We're almost there. Normally I would put such a long and tedious exercise on pause, but you know what? As uncomfortable as it is for you, I promise you, nobody is more upset about what I'm having to do over here than I am, and I just want us both to suffer through this together. Alright. The last one has finally been consumed. What is the upshot to all of that? Well, the one piece of good news is that your stats can't drop below 1. So any of her statistics that was at 38 or above, this is the lowest point that they can go. Speed, on the other hand, has dropped to 14. Why does that matter? Well, let's now go to Silver Cove. While we're at Silver Cove, I think this is probably the temple.
Can we assist
Might as well get some healing, get our mana back. Okay, okay. Now, why have I come to Silver Cove? Well, you may have, or you may recall from a previous episode, we came and we drank from this fountain, the Fountain of Accuracy. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna save this game again. Now I'm gonna drop and drink from this. This is the Fountain of Speed, which nobody else can drink from because their speed is higher than 15. But Serena, on the other hand, because her speed is below that, she can drink from it. She can only drink from it once, and I'm immediately going to turn around because I have no interest in fighting those gargoyles. And remember when I promised you a few minutes earlier that there was a reason for what I was doing? That's it. That is the reason. The reason I dropped Serena's stats by 38. Well, all of her stats by whatever amount they were. Luck, I guess, was at a 39 or 40 probably. Speed was dropped to 14. Specifically, I chose the number 38 for the number of potions because she had 52 speed. And to drop it to 14, I would need 38 of those potions. And I gave her those 38 potions. The only reason was so that she could drink from that fountain and get the speed bonus. Now, at this point, those of you who were maybe half in jest thinking that I'm insane are probably now fully convinced that there is actually something wrong with me. And you know what? Maybe there is. Maybe there is, in fact, something wrong with me. But the reason I did all of this was, if we look at our notes section, right? I haven't shown this too much. I think I showed some of the recipe notes. Maybe I showed, you know, like, we don't have really any... yeah, I also showed the notes for this stuff, you know, like the liquids and the people who will buy things for various prices. But there is another section of notes called fountain notes. Now, in this, we have listed all the temporary bonuses and healing bonuses that fountains are giving us, but it also will contain the fountains and wells that give you the 2-point bonuses if your stats are low enough for you to take them. The reason I dropped Serena's speed by 38 points is to get this entry into our auto notes section. And at this point, a lot of you are probably smacking your heads or punching the wall or however else you express your frustration because you're like, really? That's why you did this? Like, that's all? That's the only reason? Like, it's not some crazy game secret, you're not accessing some hidden area, this is the only reason you did this? And the answer is yes. This is really the only reason. Now listen. I promised you there was a reason. I never promised you that it was a good reason. And the reason I'm doing this is because midway through the game, I decided that one of my objectives is going to be to try and get as many of these journal entries as we can. And this was the only way to do this. Now, I know some of you will probably wonder, you're like, hey, Ellie, what if you just drink from the fountain without getting the bonus? Maybe that will trigger the bonus just the same, and you won't need to do all of this. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. So I just drank from it a couple times. You saw the text pop up at the bottom, which is saying refreshing, which is the text that shows up when you drink from a fountain, and it hasn't had any effect. And if we now look in our fountain notes, we'll see intellect, personality, accuracy, endurance, might, but no speed. In fact, you'll remember that the speed note showed up over here. And again, just to confirm that that's where it goes, let's go drink with Serena. Let's go back to the notes, to the fountain notes. And yes, it shows up above the note for endurance. Okay. With all of that done, we have taken this thing off our list. Now, what's the time? It's 8 p.m. It's too late to do anything useful in the game right now. Right. So I'm gonna spend the rest of this episode But before I do anything else, let's talk some more about notes. Because I might as well take this opportunity to talk about another thing, which is the category of seer notes. Because those of you who know about this game and who are, sticklers for small things about the game, you'll notice that there is a whole category of notes called seer notes, which is entirely empty. And you might be saying, hey Ali, if your objective is to get all the notes in the game, then why aren't you getting seer notes? In fact, you'll be saying, Ali, not only have you not gotten any seer notes so far, but because you've advanced the main quest, there are certain notes that you are locked out of getting. So you'll never be able to get those. And to that, I will respond by saying, let's recall this beacon. And hopefully the seer is always awake.
I've been expecting you.
Indeed he is. Now, the seer is a proper character in the game. He is the person who tells you where to go for pilgrimages. If you lose a quest item, I'm gonna save here just in case he actually gives us something. Okay, no. He doesn't give us anything. Sometimes you'll get duplicate quest items by doing this, which I didn't want. So he will, if you've lost something important, bail you out. And he will also give you hints. Now, this is essentially the game's built-in hint system. And any hints that you get from him, and I'm going to show this just for the sake of showing what it looks like. Right now he's repeating what Wilbur Humphrey told us, that we've got to complete all of the council quests for the lords, and seer notes will show up here. Right, I'm gonna load my game from before I talk to him, because I don't want any excuse me, I don't want any seer notes. Now, why don't I want seer notes? Well, early on in the game, the seer will just be redundantly repeating information for quests you already have. So, the first quest in the game was to take the the letter to Andover Potbellow in the New Sarpagal Inn. And if, for some reason, you went to Castle Ironfist instead and talked to the seer, he would literally repeat what the quest is telling you and saying, hey, you should take this letter to Andover Potbellow. After you took the letter to Potbellow, your next quest is to take the same letter to Wilbur Humphrey. And if you went to Castle Ironfist and instead of going to Wilbur Humphrey for some reason went to the seer, he would tell you, you've got to take this letter to Wilbur Humphrey. So just redundantly repeating information that's already given to you in the form of your active quests. And then after that, Humphrey tells you to go to the 6 lords in the region and get their support to go to the council. Now that technically isn't a single quest, it's more of a prompt for you to get 6 separate quests. And if for some reason you've forgotten what you have to do, the seer will repeat information that Wilbur Humphrey already gave to you. So far all he's doing is redundantly reminding you of stuff that the game has already told you. However, after a certain point, the quests solutions and in general the state of the world and certain other things become less obvious. And part of the fun in this game is figuring out what's going on. And if you go to the seer beyond a certain point, he will just straight up tell you what's going on in a way that I consider to be a genuine spoiler. So that is one reason that I'm not going to be getting the seer hints, is because, I want this series to be friendly to people who might not know about the game and who might be watching for the first time. And, I wouldn't want to spoil stuff for them. When I talk about late game stuff, it's purely, game mechanic stuff, by the end of the game we'll have this spell, by the end of the game we'll be this strong. I haven't spoiled anything about the story. And the seer, I think, will give major spoilers if you go to him for hints. So that is one reason I'm not getting the seer hints. The other reason I'm not getting them is, well, you could argue that I could get the seer hints and then do some really complex stuff, like, I could blur them out, or I could cut out the parts of the video where they're visible. That would be a lot of work to do, technically could be done. But the other reason I'm not doing it is because of the fact that this is the in-game hint system. And if we think about how hint systems are treated in terms of your, not like completion in a sense, but more generally in terms of your mastery over the game, you get credit for not using hints rather than using as many hints as possible. And to give a recent-ish example of a game that I went through, the second game in the Zero Escape series, Virtue's Last Reward, you can play it on hard difficulty or easy difficulty, and the difference is that if you're playing it on easy mode, if you're stuck on a puzzle, you'll start getting hints from the different characters, and those hints will be delivered to you in the form of extra dialogue. So if you viewed it in the sense that I want to see as much dialogue as I can, then you would play on easy mode and deliberately fail the puzzles over and over again. But the more rewarding thing in that game is, of course, to beat all the puzzles without getting hints. And in general, in any game that that gives players the opportunity to see hints if they're stuck, inevitably the more satisfying route is to stay away from those hints and to do it all yourself. And while part of the goal of this Let's Play is completionism, as we saw with the crazy, insane stuff I did to get that one entry for the speed well. Like, that is one objective, but another objective also is to play the game in a satisfying way, and that's why I've put restrictions on myself, like, no killing civilians, because that does make the game harder for me, right? Especially when I'm fighting monsters in areas near towns, or when I'm going into the Temple of the Snake, right? I have to be very careful about, how I approach things, and not using area of effect things, right? Not shooting when civilians might be walking in front of me. So, like, a different kind of completionist might say, oh, you've got to kill every single thing, including civilians. But I've already put an exception that, okay, this is one case where I'm making the game harder for myself in a way that makes it more satisfying, while taking out something that maybe had some completionist value, but it was a trivial amount of completionist value. Like, it's not hard to kill civilians. It's harder to not kill civilians. Likewise, it's not hard to see hints. It's harder to play a game without hints. Although for me, because I already know how the game ends, it's symbolic whether or not I see hints, but I still wanted to avoid hints just for that kind of the symbolic value of playing the game in its purest form. Alright, with that long-winded explanation out of the way, we have a whole bunch of things to do. And this is gonna be a test of my memory. Because let's look at Serena's stats. All of them have been dropped. Well, speed was dropped to 14. We got the one bonus. But all of the others have been dropped to such a low level that she can now benefit from all of the stat wells that give one-time bonuses if your stats are low enough. 2 of them are in Bootleg Bay. I believe here and here. We're just gonna quickly hit up both of them. These guys are I'm gonna kill them because if they interrupt Serena while she's drinking, it'll switch over to the next character, and that'll just make things unnecessarily longer. Okay, this is the intellect one, which is pointless because intellect is irrelevant for her, but since we got there, you know, we might as well get that. Now, this one is not pointless, right? This is the personality. The personality fountain. Excuse me? Okay. Let's drink from that as much as we can. Already some of the penalties we've incurred are being partially taken care of. And those are the two over here. Let's go now to the Mire of the Damned. By the way, I think the Mire of the Damned has it reset? No, it hasn't. Okay. I think this area is close to resetting again. But that's something we will worry about later. We need to go to this part of the map and drink from that well, and hopefully we don't run into harpies along the way. And now we should be green. Whatever, I don't even care anymore. I'm just gonna drink from this fountain, and let's now go to Silver Cove again, because we already drank from the speed fountain, but we still have to drink from the accuracy one, and arguably, not arguably, but definitely I should have done that while I was still here. Where is the temple? Because I don't like being cursed.
Can we assist you?
Alright, only 30 gold. It's a pretty good deal for curing a curse.
Luck be with you.
Alright, we're gonna lie back west, because that is where the two wells are. And the one to the north is the accuracy one. Now your accuracy is up. Next target is Might, which, if you'll remember, was in Freehaven. Now that's out of the way. Now, next target, final target, is New Sarpicol. We've come full circle all the way back to the beginning of the game to get this bonus again. Now luck has gone up to 16. Alright. Now that your stats are all back to where they should be, let's re-equip all of your items. And as you can see, her speed doesn't look that bad because she's got a few things giving her a speed bonus. There's that, and this mainly, and I think maybe her crown, yeah. So her speed looks good, but she's still taking a bit of a hit. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna... because I've been saving all of these for this purpose... Well, the other reason... Well, the other reason was... The other reason was, why am I blanking on this? Oh, yeah, no, the other reason was it helped me confirm that this annoying, not annoying, but long and confusing dungeon was actually clear by setting beacons in between the spawn locations. And I'm gonna go around and collect all of these potions, or these barrels. I'm gonna give them to Serena. Just further offset the penalties that she's been incurring. And next was hair. Blue, yeah, I can give you some blue as well. Sure, let's loot some of these guys. Why not? I'll give you some blue as well. The last one was this room with a bunch of barrels. So let's see what we're giving you, right? Because we don't want to give you, for instance, intellect. That's gonna go to Alexis. White, you are having a luck penalty. From what? Like, what is penalizing you? Aphrodite is penalizing you. Okay, so let's start giving you some luck. Sure, let's give you some of that as well. More accuracy is good. Green, yeah, sure, let's give you some endurance as well. More speed, that's good, that's the main thing you lost. More accuracy. More endurance, okay. More personality. And some more of this, which I'll give to you. Alright, now we have gone through all of these barrels, which I was saving until I got all of this stat reducing stuff out of the way, because if I had gotten these bonuses and then reduced stats, that would have just been a waste of stat bonuses. Come back here to New Sarpagal, because there are gonna be some stat barrels by the docks over there, over here. I just want to quickly collect those because remember this area has reset. So one thing that happens when an area resets is that the stat bonus improving barrels will also reset. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Blue is okay. Yellow is fine. Really, speed is what we're interested in. And sure, let's look inside here. Get some, you know, pretty trivial amounts of gold. Now, finally, let's recall our beacon on top of our beacon on top of the Shrine of the Gods. Took some falling damage. Not sure why. It didn't feel like it was that tall. I'm just gonna save my game yet again. Sure, let's save over this. Now, finally, let's pray at the Shrine of the Gods. This gives you plus 20 to every stat permanently. And I guess I could have gone and taken it with the other characters and saved it for Serena, but I wasn't sure if it worked. I thought that doing it once would give it to all the characters in one go, but I guess it works individually. I'd forgotten how it worked. Anyway, it feels better to do it all in one fell swoop. Now Serena's looking in a little bit better shape. She took a hit of 38, but then got 20 points back, and then a couple extra points from barrels as well. So she has done okay. Next, I'm gonna click on that. Why?
I got a bad feeling about this place.
It's been a weird episode. You know, might as well make it even weirder by going into the Easter egg dungeon. What is the Easter egg dungeon? Well, if you look at the map, it says New World Computing, which is the name of the company that made this game. Yes. They made a dungeon based on the office building that they worked in. Essentially, it's a replica of the office building, and we are just gonna explore the rest of it. We're gonna spend the rest of this episode just seeing what this woman looks like she's in a bit of trouble. By the way, all of the people in here, I'll click on them as we encounter them. All the people in here are named after the employees. So we've got Steve Baca. Oh, I guess some of them just have a generic name. And I'm pretty sure if you killed them, you would incur the same penalty as if you had killed a normal peasant. This thing will give you some random loot. Like, nothing too exciting. It gave 4 of these cloaks. I think there are a few of these, possibly. Oh, here's someone who apparently the people who coded this game didn't like, because they have implemented him in the game as a goblin to be killed. I'm not gonna loot the corpse. I'm just gonna leave it there because it's a unique corpse. There's some shelves. Oh, we got a club. You know what we do with clubs? We throw them on the ground. Dagger is barely worth it. Another dagger. Another club. Nothing there. Okay. There's stuff on the ground somewhere. Here, maybe here?
I don't know.
Oh, that is an okay axe. I guess we can pick it up. Even the money really is not it's not an issue for us anymore. What is this? What does this desk do? This doesn't do anything. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Now there's... hilarious. There's one of these where... actually, let me open this up on my phone, because there's one of these that... actually, a couple of them that do something special. Now I want to make sure that... get to all of the special things that I can. Alright. Let me just put the game on pause. Save a bit of in-game time while I do this. Let me look through... Okay, so in this there will be one desk. And is this the desk? Or have we encountered the place... Oh, excuse me. I hit my lamp again. Have we encountered the place where the desk is? We have, actually. Okay. Now this, I'm gonna save because I'm not sure how it works. This doesn't do anything right now. But let me load my game... Let me set a beacon inside. Let me portal to New Sarpagal. We're gonna have to wait until the next day, unfortunately. But maybe we can... I guess let's just rest if we're gonna do that anyway. We're gonna have to go to the bank.
What can I do for you?
Deposit all of our money. I'm just gonna do that because...
Insufficient funds.
Yeah. I didn't have that much money, which is why he said insufficient funds, but it did deposit everything. Now if I go back here... Yes, okay. So this will give you up to 10,000 gold. We've gotten that money now. Oh, hooray. I mean, it's irrelevant to us, but early on in the game, you can come here and, you know, get a fair amount. Honestly, does this show up in our fountain notes? Or in our miscellaneous notes? It doesn't, of course it wouldn't, because this is an Easter egg dungeon. Alright, let's cast Wizard Eye again. I might miss some of these people, but hopefully by the end of it, we will have seen most of them. And I'm sure the ones we missed, their names will be in the regular game credits. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now this pantry will... Oh, do we have cure poison? Oh, we do. Will... Bad food? Like, sometimes it'll give you food. Sometimes it'll make you drunk. Sometimes... it'll give you a potion bottle. And that's basically all it does. This counter, I think, will give you infinite potion bottles. Which we'll hold on to a few of these, because I think we do have 1 or 2 potions left to make. So let's get, like, I don't know. 6 potion bottles seems fine to me. What's inside this room? What's on the floor?
Ah.
Yeah, sure, I'll pick that up to sell it. Oh, that's gonna be okay to sell.
Ah.
That... okay, I guess we can enchant that. Yeah, that's fine, but better to just sell. Alright, now what's in this room?
I don't know.
Just a crappy long dagger. I'm gonna open all these doors and, well, I guess we'll... Do doors close after a while? Because I thought we'd open this door. Oh, they do close. That's a little bit annoying, because it's gonna make it harder to know where we have and haven't gone. I'll make sure that there isn't a door along this diagonal. How do I get there? Okay, I see how to get there. Okay. No, there wasn't. Okay. Okay. Moving on. What's in here? Here is John Van Caneghem. He is their boss. They have put him in the game as a goblin who is hostile and who you can kill. Now we have technically cleared this dungeon, and doing that has also made everyone afraid. Has it done anything else? I don't think so. And I don't even think we have removed fear. Nope. Oh, I think going in here is what triggers that effect. Hitting that desk will give you some massive stat bonuses, which I'm not going to be abusing that too much because it makes the game a little bit too easy. Now the rest of this is just going to be opening doors and getting the map explored.
I don't know.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm not too excited about that. What's this on the floor? Just a bit of gold. I guess some of these doors are gonna have people inside of them. I guess all of them will have people inside of them. So let's open each of these just to get the yellow dots on the map. Pretty big office building, I have to say. Somebody is gonna be in here, no doubt. Okay, someone's gonna be in here. Yep. What about in here? Nobody is in here. Interesting. Interesting. What is left? There's something over there, which we're gonna have to figure out how to get to. I think I see how to get to it. Is we do this. Ooh, there's a whole other place. Wow. There's something on the ground here. Some gold? Sure. What does this do? Oh, that gives, I think, unlimited alchemy ingredients. So let's just get... Oh, I'm giving them to the wrong person. Sure, that's enough. And I'm just gonna open the rest of these doors. Just for the sake of being thorough. And what's on the floor over here?
I don't know.
A wand. I'm not even gonna identify it because it's gonna be worth 1,000 gold. We're just
I
gonna
don't
sell
know.
it.
Ah.
That, I guess I'll pick it up to sell it. And how do I get to? There's clearly another room in here. Okay, you go around here. And what's? That was strange. But what's
I
this
don't
on the
know.
ground?
Ah.
Not worth picking up. Not worth it. Now I think we might be done because I don't see any obvious unexplored parts on the map. I'm just gonna walk around once more just to make sure that there aren't any cubicles we haven't opened. Although, this spot, I'm glad I noticed this. Yeah, alright. Let's be a bit more thorough with the map. Let's zoom in a little bit. And make sure... Aha, see, here's another one. And let's make sure... Is there any person in this room? Nope. But some gold, which I'll take. Was there any person in this room? No. Let's again do one final lap before we call this dungeon and indeed this video good, because I think we've done enough damage for one day. Alright, let's... Okay, nobody in there. Nobody in there, and let's go back out. Okay, I think there are a couple cubicles down here that we haven't opened. I know this is probably driving you crazy, but these are the kinds of things that keep me up at night. And indeed, Benjamin and Greg were in these two rooms. Okay, I think that has accounted for everybody. And I'm just gonna quickly check up on this room again. Oh yeah, we hadn't been in here. Okay, Scott, nice to meet you. Okay. Now I think we're done. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna rest once. Because that has gotten rid of the enchantment we got from that desk in John Van Canegum's office. It's a very big enchantment. It's a little bit game-breaking, if you ask me. The bonus is a little bit too big. I want to rely on the more... I mean, it's still a pretty big bonus that we would get from casting a spell like Day of the Gods, but it's something that we earned legitimately and not just something that we found in the Easter egg dungeon. So that is how I'm going to play the game going forward. But that's something I can talk about in the next video. So anyway, I'm going to end this video by leaving this place. And we are going to go... What is our objective for the next video? I think next time we are gonna be going to Hermit's Isle. So let's end this video by going to... Well, what's the time right now? It's too late to do anything useful. Let's end the video by going to Paradise Valley. Let's cast Create Food. Let's cast Fly. And let us just position ourselves on top of this little hill in the dark. Oop. Let me just climb up a little bit because fly doesn't quite go high enough. Sitting on this little hill looking south because next time we're gonna go into Hermit's Isle and we're gonna clear out that map. Right? So it's been a long, weird video. I guess the one saving grace to all of that, you know, all of that trauma I caused Serena, you know, because her speed was the lowest, her natural speed was the lowest, so she was the one who got the rather dubious honor of drinking all of those rejuvenation potions. But the one saving grace is that because I spent part of this video running around to all the stat boosting wells, this video kind of serves as a refresher on where those wells are. But that's about it. Other than that, I was not happy that we had to do this. But it's done, it's over, and it's in the past. And next episode onwards, we can go back to doing actual fun game stuff. So anyway, I'm glad you joined me for this video, even though I wouldn't blame you if you would say you didn't enjoy this one, because I didn't enjoy it either. I'm still upset at what I had to do. So regardless of how we feel, I thank you for being here with me, and I hope you'll join me for the next one, which is when we are finally gonna go back to actually having fun. I know, what a concept, right? So I hope to see you then. Until then, take care.